Hey guys, welcome to Found Flicks. For Jeepers Creepers fans out there, it's been a long road to finally getting a third chapter in the series. The original film, released in 2001, starred Justin Long and Gina Phillips as siblings who, while on spring break, encounter a flesh-eating creature called the Creeper on the final day of his ritualistic feeding cycle. Jeepers Creepers 2 followed in 2003, set a few days after the original, featuring a stranded basketball team that also become the Creeper's victims. Both films were financially successful, and it seemed that a third entry was a guarantee. And since Jeepers Creepers 2, there have been several starts and stops to get a third entry off the ground, even appearing several times that production would actually happen. The closest coming recently with Cathedral, but production was canceled right before filming due to a controversy I won't be getting into here, and thusly the Creeper was dormant once more. But it looks like fans can finally rejoice, as based on what we know, Jeepers Creepers 3 is finally coming out this year, and there's already a part 4 in the works too. There hasn't been a release date officially announced for part 3, but Labor Day has been rumored for some time, and according to new leaked details, it appears that a September 1st release date is confirmed. So what all do we know about part 3? There's been a ton of stuff coming out about it recently, so let's look at all of the latest info on the movie and also part 4. First of all, we know they actually filmed the movie, with production taking place earlier this year in Baton Rouge. So with filming complete, that's already a significant step past where things have gotten so far. Jeepers 3 won't be set chronologically after part 2, but after the events of the first film, and bridge into the second one, filling in the gaps between the two. The story follows a team of hunters led by genre staple Meg Foster of They Live and recent Rob Zombie films Lords of Salem and 31. Her team knows all about the Creeper's mythology and are intending to hunt him down before he can finish his ritualistic feedings. This is an interesting direction to go with part 3, as we've really only seen confused teenagers face the Creeper. It will have quite a different feel with a knowledgeable group hunting the Creeper at the forefront. As far as original cast members, Jonathan Breck will be back to terrify us as the Creeper for a third time, but even more exciting is that Gina Phillips' character Trish is also returning. This is awesome news for fans of the character who survived the first film, only to be written out of the script for part 2. It sounds like Trish won't be a big focus of part 3, but will actually pave the way for part 4, as she describes to Diabolique magazine. This is actually not my movie. It doesn't have a lot to do with Trish. I am in it in order to launch what happens next. Based on reports, she did some voiceover and appears at the end of Jeepers 3, and then part 4 will pick up immediately after the ending of 3. Victor has written what happens from the second after the conclusion of Jeepers Creepers 3. I got to see what will eventually happen to the character, and he put enough flashbacks in there that I got to see what happened to her over the last 15 years. So to boil all of that down, 3 will take place between 1 and 2, and then the ending of 3 will lead directly into 4 starring Trish. Then we will catch up on Trish via flashbacks and what's happened to her over the last 15 years, leading us to 23 years after the first film. The script for part 4 is already written, and it appears that the plot will be based on a synopsis that came out a while ago. It was originally going to be the plot for part 3, but it seems that script was later rewritten and switched with what will now be part 4. Trish Jenner is now a mother of a teenage son named Derry, named after the brother she lost 23 years ago. Trish has a recurring nightmare where her son suffers the same fate as her brother did, killed by the Creeper. Determined to prevent this from happening, Trish, who is now a rich and powerful woman, sets out on a final quest with Jack Taggart Sr. and Jr. to end the Creeper's reign of terror once and for all. The Creeper fights back in gory glory as its enemies grow closer than ever before to learning the secrets of its dark origins. Well, that sounds pretty epic. Is the intent for part 4 to be the final chapter in the series, with Trish learning the secrets of and finally destroying the Creeper for good? And not only will Trish be back, but Jack Taggart Sr. and Jr. from part 2 are returning to lend a hand as well. Hopefully they can get Ray Wise back for part 4. He was definitely a highlight of part 2 as the dad determined to find his missing son. The original plan was for 3 and 4 to be shot back to back, but they probably put 4 on hold until they see how 3 does. It makes sense not to put too much risk into investing in a long dormant horror franchise, something that has had a spotty rate of success at best so far. Regardless, I'm still really excited for Jeepers Creepers 3 coming out in September. It will be good to have that big flesh-eating monster on screen again after so many years. Make sure to stay tuned to Found Flicks for any more breaking news about the upcoming Jeepers Creepers films. Are you guys excited that Jeepers Creepers 3 is finally happening? And what do you think about the return of Trish? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching Found Flicks. See you next time.